Hello, I'm Lonnie,
I'm Mark.
and this is Comic Book Malarkey. We are going to talk about Generations, the Marvel event, through the Thor book. And we've already done one, and it was through like Phoenix.
Right.
But now we've done Thor, and what was last week?
Wolverine.
Wolverines, okay. In my opinion, these things keep getting better.
I have to agree.
The Wolverine was really good. The Wolverine had like an emotional end. It was really good.
It was interesting to see him connect with Laura, and that emotional ending at the end where, like, as she was fading back to the present time, she said, "Goodbye, Dad."
Yeah.
That was
major.
That was major.
But had they not, I'm not familiar really with, I didn't read when she was like, I read a little bit when she first appeared, but she was kind of a villain when she first appeared, and she like beat the crap out of Wolverine, but it didn't take long for her to, turn over to the good side and team up with him. Did they do a lot of team up stuff?
Well, so when she first appeared, she was working for the Weapon Plus program.
Yeah.
So, and of course, she was an assassin.
She beat the crap out of Wolverine.
She beat the crap out of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then somehow, I missed it, but Logan got in and got her out and put her at the school with the new X-Men group that was the kids. So it was like her and Hellion and Surge and all them running around.
Yeah, and I think I read some of that.
Oh, that was good because she got a crush on Hellion. So it was kind of interesting to see a female Wolverine get a crush on a telekinetic. So apparently it's not redheads that the Wolverine gene likes; it's telekinetics that the Wolverine gene likes. Apparently.
But yeah, I mean,
that was So then she became a good guy, and then of course after Wolverine died in Death of Wolverine, the mantle passed to her.
The whole Death of Wolverine thing I never did understand because, they basically had features of Sabretooth, like X-23, all these other, a ton of people, but they didn't give Jubilee her time to shine, and she was Wolverine's like #1 sidekick through like the late '80s and all the '90s.
I'll have to agree with you. Nobody gives Jubilee enough credit anymore. But so just to see them hook up and fight and like to get the inner commentary from Logan, as he's watching her fight, and he's just like he's floored. Like he's like, she's me, but she's like 50 times more graceful. It's
made it look good.
Yeah, she makes it look good, and he's like, I'm a brawler, but she's a dancer.
But that was a good book. But then we go into this week, just yesterday, with the Thors, and we get to see this. This was by far my favorite book so far because you get to see Thor, you get to see the Jane Foster Thor, you get to see them team up against Apocalypse in like old Egypt, and they team up against him. And then we get to see, like, kind of like spoiler, the Phoenix thing.
Yeah, so
I don't want to really say a whole lot about that.
Oh no, that was like the Phoenix intro at the end was probably one of the best things. But so it should be prefaced that the Thor Odinson, who she runs into, is before he is able to pick up and become worthy of Mjolnir.
Yes.
Because at the beginning of the book, he like lifts it up off the table. He's like, "No, if I can only swing it," and Odin's like, "Put it down," blah blah blah. And so then he goes to Earth to defend Earth from Apocalypse with the big battle axe.
I didn't know he could hear Viking prayers.
Oh yeah, like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they very very rarely cover it in the comics.
Yeah, that's why I had no clue.
But every now, because there was one where like some Viking prayed to him and he went and they had wiped out a whole village, and he brought like the survivor of that village back, and that guy became like his like herald slash like.
But at the very least, spoiler alert, they win.
Yeah. And
like they don't actually show the end of the battle. See, I don't know like how badly they beat Apocalypse down. Typically, Apocalypse just floats off and or teleports.
Goes and regenerates somewhere.
But what
comes
I thought
back
was
a couple
really,
hundred years later.
Really funny is as the goat is basically like pulling them, across the ocean or whatever. It's flying and pulling the boats, and they have the nose of the Sphinx, like tied to the front of the boat.
Yep.
I was like, wow, like what a trophy.
Now we know where the nose went from. I'm liking this series. I'm wondering, like like we talked about last time.
Where's it going?
Where is it going to go?
But I will say we've seen the Phoenix twice.
Yes. And that's going to be an interesting thing because and that whole thing that we saw with the Phoenix in this one, which we will not discuss because of spoilers, was enough to pick the book up for because it makes you want to read Marvel Legacy #1.
Yeah, it did say for more on this, pick up Marvel Legacy #1, which means between the 2 Phoenix appearances in this, they're having a Dark Phoenix movie come out next year.
Really, I had not heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be the one after Apocalypse.
Okay, so they're going to do it with...
She's doing the Phoenix deal, the Dark Phoenix. So we're all building up towards that. I think they're going to coincide. And plus, Jean Grey over in her own, young Jean Grey in her personal series, the Jean Grey series.
Yeah, she's got the Phoenix running around.
She's scared the Phoenix is returning, and she's going to all these previous Phoenix hosts and everything. And that's a really good series. We're building to something here.
So they're building to some sort of a Phoenix thing.
Yes.
Again, for the 5th time.
I don't think this will be a, possess a bunch of people, split in and everything. I think the Phoenix is coming back probably for blood.
What? But, okay. That'll be interesting to see, but
it's going to possess somebody, and I think it's probably going to be who you least expect. Jubilee. How cool would that be?
I think Marvel hit pay dirt when they did the original Dark Phoenix saga, like the Phoenix Dark Phoenix saga, and then since then, it's like, for me, it's like, it's the Phoenix again.
Well, it hasn't really been overdone. You had Phoenix, you had Dark Phoenix. It went away for a long time. Then when Jean Grey came back, they just kind of hinted at the Phoenix coming back, and it didn't really come to a head until Grant Morrison's new X-Men run.
Right, and then they had the White Room and all that fun stuff.
Maybe half a dozen issues, and then it went away again until Inhumans vs. X-Men.
Except for the Rachel stuff. Because you got to remember, you have Rachel with a fragment of the Phoenix Force in her.
Yeah, but they hadn't really pushed that much.
They haven't lately, but they pushed it a lot in Excalibur. Because in Excalibur, she had that Firebird around her all the time.
Yeah, but it was never, the Phoenix is taking over or anything like that.
No.
I mean, she even went into the future, and as an old woman, never really did the Phoenix.
Well, yeah, that's because she's the Ascani.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene from Excalibur with her, with the Phoenix Force, is when Alana died, when Magic died.
Yeah.
Her soul sword appeared at the lighthouse in a stone for Kitty, because Kitty's the only other person at that time who could wield Alana's soul sword. And she didn't want to do it, so Rachel tries to pull it out of the stone, and Rachel grabs a hold of it. She's trying to pull it out, and like the Phoenix Force expands out from her. She's trying to lift it both physically and telekinetically, and she can't, even with the full power of the Phoenix Force, pull it out of the stone.
Okay.
So that was kind of cool.
So that's greater than Magic. Oh, well, I guess we'll probably need to go ahead and wrap up. But overall, Generations has been really good so far. Can't wait to see where it goes. If it gets any better than what it is, just ecstatic, because I think I gave this most recent Thor issue like a 9.5 out of 10.
I'd have to agree with that. 9 out of 10.
Like, it wasn't perfect, it had just little bits, but it was an awesome book, and I'm really interested to see where we go from here.
I agree, and I'm also looking forward to a couple of things that DC have coming up here in a little bit. They're going to have like a Red Robin storyline that's going to be kind of sort of really cool.
They're also, what is it, Detective Comics or Action Comics is going to be like a month of lenticular covers.
Right, yeah.
I'm a sucker for those. Just go ahead and sign me up for whatever one releases. I love 3D covers and any kind of gimmick like that. So, and they bet on that.
Yeah, they bet on that.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm Lonnie.
I am Mark. Once again, this is Untitled Nerd Network, sponsored by Infinity Flux right here in Hickson, Tennessee.
This is Malarkey Comic Book Edition. We have been talking about Generations up to this point, and I know we're probably going to be talking about it in a couple more weeks, because this right now is, I don't care what they say about Secret Empire, this is the Marvel event.
I will have to agree.